everyone, it is me, Miss Colleen, the visual arts teacher at Academy of Whole Learning. Today for our virtual art club, I thought we could make something really fun with supplies that we have around the house. So I was looking around my house and I saw that I had a bunch of really cool yarn and string, and I thought, what could I make with this? And as I was digging in my craft box, I found this really cool tool that I got as a gift from a cousin a couple Christmases ago, and it is a Pom Pom Maker. So this is a really cool tool that allows you to make pom-poms. I don't know if you can kind of see in there. It's this plastic kind of contraption that allows you to make really cool and fluffy pom-poms. And I was like, well, everybody might not have this at home. And I looked up online, and there's a couple different methods that you can use to make pom-poms. One uses a Pom Pom Maker. Another method is using a fork, where we would wrap string around the tongs of the fork and then kind of cutting along the edge. It's like a similar method to using the Pom Pom Maker. Another method is using your hand. Now, I think for the sake of today's video, I am going to make it using the Pom Pom Maker and then using a fork. And I will use basically 3 different sizes to create 3 pom-poms. And then from that, I thought, you know what I really like? Googly eyes. And luckily my roommate had some googly eyes lying around, so I thought, why not make Pom Pom Creatures? So, things that you will need for today's project: yarn, pair of scissors. Remember that if you are, younger, make sure that you are asking a parent or guardian for help. If you need help with cutting and it's kind of hard to use, they can definitely help you with the cutting part. You'll also need, like I said, the Pom Pom Maker, the fork, googly eyes if you want to decorate in that way, and then also you're going to need, if you plan on decorating, a hot glue gun and glue stick. Now, you can get really creative in ways that you want to decorate. Maybe you don't want to do googly eyes. Maybe you want to use yarn to make a bow. Maybe you would like to, cut googly eyes out of paper. Maybe you want to find things from a magazine, like if someone's smiling, cutting out the mouth and the eyes and gluing that on there. There's a lot of creative things that you can do. Today, I'm just going to show you how to make the pom-poms and then let you guys get creative. All right. So let's get started. Alright, so for the first method, we're going to use the Pom Pom Maker. This is by a company named Clover. I've never used it before, but I've watched a video online, and it seemed pretty easy to use. So, it is a school contraption. It kind of twists around. You can actually take it apart, and that's what we'll be doing at the end. But for the beginning part, what you're going to do is find your Pom Pom Maker, and you are going to open up these little kind of twisty parts. So you're going to want to open one on each side. What you're going to do is you're going to wrap the string around as evenly as you can, all the way around this kind of like half circle shape, almost kind of looks like a rainbow. So you'll do that on both sides. When you're done, you're going to close this. And then you're going to wrap string around to kind of cinch it in the middle. And then what we'll do is we will cut away the string that we wrapped, and your pom-pom will be created. So, or actually you're supposed to pull up both sides. Whoopsie, that was my mistake. Yeah, so I will speed up the video to do that. And then when I am all done, I will slow it down so that it's regular speed when I cut it open and to show you it. After you're done making your pom-pom, you're most likely going to have to trim it. Remember to ask an adult for help if you are using scissors, and you're going to need pretty sharp scissors, so if they don't work, definitely ask an adult for help to problem solve the way that you can cut your pom-pom. Alright, I'm going to speed up the video, and here we go. I'm just going to pull this apart. And you can see that it's tied really tightly in the middle. Now I'm just gonna kind of fluff my pom-pom. And next step I'm gonna do is trim around. As you can see, we've got some stragglers, so let's just make this look really nice. It might make your pom-pom a little smaller than you planned. That is a-okay. In the end, it's gonna look pretty cute, I think. So let me just kind of like... Now, the more times you wrap around your pom-pom, the more fluffy it's gonna be. So this one, I could have probably actually wrapped it around more and made it fluffier. But in the end, this is kind of what you're gonna get. And I think it looks really cool. This is something that you could, you know, if you want to, you can put the googly eyes on, or you can, you know, make it into jewelry, make it into a keychain on your backpack. You could put them on your shoelaces. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna make another one using the fork. I'm gonna probably wrap it around and see some more. And then after that, I'm just gonna make a couple just on my own, and then we can decorate. All right, so here we go. All right, so now for the next one, if you do not have some of these Pom Pom makers, you can use a fork or your hand. If you're going to use the hand method, what you'll do, and depending on how big you want it, it depends on how you wrap around your hand. So you would get a longer piece in this. I just have it cut for my thing. But you're going to put it in between your middle and your ring finger. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your yarn and you're going to wrap it around. If you're making a pom-pom like this, a video suggested, especially if you want to make really, really big ones, you're going to do it about 100 times. I know that seems like a lot, but it's going to make a really big, fluffy pom-pom. Now, if you want it to be smaller, maybe you wrap it around just these 3 fingers. Just be careful as you're wrapping it too, if you're going to wrap it this way, is that you don't want to squeeze so tight that you start to cut off circulation. Also, the more you pull on it, the more your hands are going to squish together. So try to keep your hands relaxed and firmly wrap it around. I'm going to show you the fork method just because this one seems easier and you're not going to be squeezing your hand. So similar thing, you're going to put your piece of string in between your fork like so, kind of like how we had it for the hand. See, like 4 tongs, 4 fingers. And then what you're going to do is you're going to wrap this around. Now wrap it around as many times as you want. I would say at least 30 times. That's just going to give you a fuller pom-pom. This is the first pom-pom I made with the Pom Pom Maker. And then I about doubled the amount of string that I put on it. I'm also using a different type of yarn, and look at how much fluffier it is. So the more you put, as you can see, the fluffier it's gonna get. This one's so squishy. Okay, here we go. So I counted, and that was just under 40 times, and that was a lot of string, so that just gives you an idea. You want to do it over top of each other. You don't want to spread it out over the whole fork, just because that is going to make it, not as concentrated, not as fluffy and tight. So now the next step you're going to do is you're going to take that string. Remember, it's going through both sides, like this, as you can see, and you're going to wrap that around back through that middle piece, because what we're going to do is tie this. Now, I tried making one of these earlier and I totally messed up. That was just because I didn't tie this as tight as it needed to be. Think of it as super, super, super tight. So this would not be tight enough. You want to squeeze, 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 and you might even want an adult's help. And I'm going to double knot this because I don't want that to come undone. And maybe triple knot it, because you know what? Doesn't hurt. Okay. I did that pretty tight, and when you pull it pretty tight, you're actually going to see how it bends. kind of down. It kind of looks almost like a bow tie, which is kind of cool. But now the next step is to cut along this. You're gonna need sharp scissors to do this, to get through and cut. I have found that my scissors are not as sharp, so I need to find another tool. This is definitely when I would have you guys ask an adult, help you find sharp ones. You're gonna need ones that can fit through here. I might actually look for a different tool that I have that I use for embroidery and see if that works. So be right back. All right, and I'm back. So these are embroidery scissors. They're a really cool one because they fold up. They were a gift from my mom, and they're really sharp. They're good for cutting thread. So let's see if that works for this. Aha! Oh, this is way easier than using those other scissors. So if you don't have embroidery scissors, that's okay. So find something sharp and ask an adult. Please do not cut yourselves. So I would say for the most part, you know, have an adult help you. If you are a high schooler, you know, just be careful. And see, I'm not cutting towards myself. I'm going to cut away. And I should even have my thumb down here. Now you can see as I cut, this gets flipped up. I'm just going to leave this a little bit, mainly because I'm going to cut now the other side. And I just don't want it all to go flying off. So same thing. You're just going to cut. And this is what's creating our pom-pom. So it's, I mean, if you look in like store-bought pom-poms, this is kind of the general way that they are made as well. They're obviously going to be a lot more uniform. Here are some pom-poms that I've had that I bought from the store, and then I had some broken earrings, so I just glued them on. But those were a lot more uniform than this one. You can tell maybe it's still a little lumpy, but it's got a lot of character. This one, pretty lumpy, but I still like it. And then just a reminder too, if you mess up, like I messed up earlier and I had to redo, that's a-okay. That's the whole point of art. When we mess up, when we make mistakes, it just gives us an opportunity to get creative. Okay. Ooh. Okay, it looks pretty cool. Only suggestion I would say, do not pull on these, because what you're going to do is you're going to pull it through this middle part, and that is not going to be fun, especially if your pom-pom is apart. Okay. So I'm going to kind of just mash it. As you see, I'm not pulling any pieces. I'm just like kind of fluffing it up, getting real fluffy. Okay, it's fluffy, but straggly. So I'm going to cut all those scraggles with my scissors. And it's kind of like you're at a barber shop or a beauty salon, and you're just kind of creating the shape you want. Or if you're maybe somebody who's really into gardening, maybe this is like what it's like to trim maybe different hedges. I don't know. You can create the shape you want too. You don't have to make it round. You can make it like, I don't know, rectangle, or just have fun with it. Maybe you want it to look really, you know, straggly, whatever. Because you want it to look almost like a tiny little monster. Well, this color kind of looks like Oscar the Grouch, so maybe you'd want it to look like Oscar. Alright, so I'm just going to keep fluffing and snipping until I feel good about it. My only suggestion is you don't want to cut off too much, obviously, because you might cut that middle string. You kind of roll it like this. There we go. It's kind of looking cool. Let's get all these out of here. You just don't want to cut that middle string. I'm going to trim just a little bit more. As you can tell, quite the art teacher, because I'm trying to make it perfect when I just said it doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay for there to be mistakes. Okay. Alright. I think it looks awesome. So, here are a couple ways to make a pom-pom. These two were made using this tool, which is a Pom Pom Maker. I didn't try making the little one yet because maybe I'll do that later. It's so cute. And then this one was made using the fork. As you can see, it's definitely bigger if you use the maker. It would be even bigger if you used your hand. I don't know if you can tell, this one feels really dense, and I don't know if it's because I wrapped more strings around the green one. This one looks very different. This one's very loose and fun, and I think it's also, these are two different types of strings, so those are all things to take into consideration. So, Pom-poms, what should we do? I think it'd be fun to make them into little creatures. So I'm gonna just heat up my hot glue gun. I'm gonna look through, I have a tin, I don't know if you can see, but I have a tin of, not nuts, they are buttons that I got from my grandma. She just collected a lot of buttons over the year for sewing projects. So I might look through here and see like, ooh, this one's kind of like a rose. Maybe I want to like do a little cute like, put a rose, or maybe give mine just like little buttons. I don't know. I'm gonna look around here and see if there's anything I like. And if there's not, maybe I won't use the buttons. But there's some like pretty cool ones. I got like some gems and things. We'll see. Okay, so I'll pause the video and come back when I'm ready to start hot gluing and when the gun is warmed up. If you are using hot gun glue, just a reminder, please ask an adult for permission and for their help. These can get pretty hot. It does say low temp, but that doesn't mean that this metal part won't get hot. So if you are using it, you need an adult's permission. And then I would say when you're gluing, make sure that you're not getting your hands to touch this part. It's not plugged in right now, so that's why I can touch this. But my hot glue gun even warms up here too, so I have to be very careful. And if you do get any glue on you, not the end of the world. It's gonna dry and you'll just have to peel it off your skin, so it'll hurt for a little bit, but it's not any permanent damage. Just be very careful or ask an adult for help. All right, I'll be back when the glue gun is ready. All right, so my hot glue gun is all warmed up. And now while it was warming, I just found something. So I kind of found this cool button. I thought it looked kind of like a hat, and if you know me, I love to wear berets, so it kind of is like those hats that I wear at school. I got two little googly eyes, and then I kind of found this pearl-looking button. Maybe I'll have it as a note. So, to hot glue, I'm gonna just make sure my little guy is all fluffy and ready. I think I'm gonna find the side that looks the nicest, so... And that's all to your preference. There doesn't, do whatever side you want, I think. It's gonna sit like this, so perfect. I'm gonna do this side. So I'm gonna just put a little glob of hot glue. And I'm gonna pick up my eyeball and stick it on. Make sure to press it so you can see. And then you might have these little glue hairs. Those are ooh, okay. You just gotta pull them off. I'm gonna do another glob. Maybe a little bigger this time. Same thing, googly eyes. And as you can see, the glue does stick to me, but it doesn't hurt. Some people might be a little more sensitive than others, so highly suggest getting an adult to help you out. Okay, so I got two googly eyes. It's looking pretty cute. Let's put on the beret. So I could put the beret on. Which side looks the best? I think this side looks the best. So I could do it right in the middle, or I could do it off to the side, which might look cute, and that's kind of how I wear mine. So I wear a Pom Pom Monster. I got a nice glob going right there. Just gonna take mine, press it down. Oh, it's looking so cute. Okay. Now I don't know if I even want to now add this mouth. Let's see. Put it here. I think I'm not, but maybe I could put this on top up here. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it like this for now. I think it looks cute this way, but you can add as much or as little as you want. It is your Pom Pom creature. So I'm just gonna do one for today. Showed you how to make a couple different types of pom pom. I even made an extra one. I wrapped this one around actually I did this one on the small guy. And I made sure that when I wrapped it, I did it almost twice. So on each of these, I wrapped it all the way around, and then I did it a second time, and maybe even some spots a third, so that can definitely fluff it up. So, those are some options. Alright, here is my little googly Pom Pom creature. I hope you guys like them. If you can think of a name that I should name my little Pom Pom creature, comment below or send me an email, and I will take all suggestions. Alright, so my name is Miss Colleen with Academy of Whole Learning. I can't wait to see what art you create, and hope to hear from you soon. Alright, have a great summer!